A lot of women shy away from being feminine because we are told in society that if we dress up too much, we look great, we're always called names. And interestingly enough, it's always by other women. I don't know generally, but you know, in my cultures, if women are a little too dressed up and there's no wedding or there's no birthday, people are gonna start giving you funny looks. Man, she dressed up all the time. How many men has she got on the go? Because there is only this understanding that you can only dress up to please men. That's why you're dressing up. No, that's not the case. Let's fast forward to a lot of these women who are teaching femininity. Okay, so most women who have more of a masculine stance, like myself, there is nothing wrong with that, and there is no point in hiding it and dressing it up and blah blah this that. Just because the masculine stance I'm talking about is not that I'm behaving like a man, not that I look like a man. We're talking about independence, and I'm not talking about the independence that a lot of women who really cannot survive without men talk about. I'm talking about an independence of mind, a backbone, knowledge, self-respect, those type of things. You're gonna get a lot of women like that. Like, I've had clients who have said, you know, I just can't relate to most of the femininity trope. And I agree with that, because femininity is not a costume. There's some events I've been to, whether it's here in London, whether I've been to different places, and you know that you just look at the woman and it doesn't matter how much she's dolled up, how great she looks, she's weak. She can't handle life's pressures, she can't handle life stress. That's the reason she always has something going on, basically, because in order to face life as a woman in a world where we are constantly come for by men, by other women, is difficult. And if you as a woman, you want to live real, like a lot of these women are teaching femininity, is you have to be a poodle, you have to sit this way, you have to act this way, you have to dress this way, is fake. So it's gonna stop women who have not been taught real femininity to step forward. I was having a conversation with my assistant not too long ago, and she got an eyeshadow, and she was asking me, and she said, I'm not sure how to put this eyeshadow on. And she said she asked her mom, and she said, oh, just use it. No, makeup doesn't work that way, you know? There are correct ways of doing things, and a lot of women, just like a lot of men, have not been taught masculinity, of course by their dad. Maybe he wasn't there, maybe he passed away, maybe he was absent, maybe he was abusive. So there is no real role model for women of, well, what is it to be feminine? Because a lot of the time, when you've not had that feminine role model, there is this understanding of, there's a disconnect from femininity. What is femininity? I had to go through a lot of it. I couldn't relate to most women when they talked about being feminine or this or that. I'm like, I don't get it. What I couldn't relate to was the fact that they were weak. Their weakness was so apparent, it was unbelievable. They all looked like little waifs who a man would stick a little doggy collar around you, like, which a lot of women do. That's not me coming out of the mark and saying it. That's the reality, that most women you can easily put a collar around them and they can be controlled. They don't realize they can be controlled. They don't realize what manipulative men are doing, but that's the reality of it. And over time, when I grew up, I had no female role models. I was like, I don't relate to anybody I'm seeing, because they lacked power. They lacked the confidence to be your own person. Because in society, a woman is a follower. She's a sheep. She has to follow constantly. And there is nothing wrong with following a man. If a man is capable, if a man is confident, and he's most importantly secure in his masculinity. A lot of women who, such as myself, who have had the strength or have the strength, we are constantly told to shrink ourselves down to please an insecure man. When a man is weak inside, you have to shrink yourself down to please him consistently. This has nothing to do with feminism. This has nothing to do with anything. This is a person's individual stance. There are plenty of men who felt threatened by me, and they felt threatened because I wasn't going to shrink myself down to please them. And then they couldn't control me, and then what? But Women need to know that real femininity is, of course, self-care, looking after yourself, having feminine manners, having courtesan arts, knowing how to seduce. It's very important. All of this stuff is very important. But we're not taught. It's considered a shame. Women are not learning anything from their mother, their older sister, their aunts, nothing. Nobody knows anything. So, we're all confused. And then you got femininity coaches. Oh, this is how you have to dress. And you just look at the woman that, what if I grabbed her wrist and broke it, it would be done. I'm a woman. In Spartanite, I'm always encouraging women, be strong. Celebrate your strength. Physical strength, emotional strength, sexual strength, mental strength. Be strong. And if that's too scary for most people, let them go. It's not for you. People who are comfortable in themselves, they're secure in themselves, they're never going to have a problem. And especially men. A man who's secure in his masculinity will always push you. He will always say, I'm proud of you. It doesn't matter whether he's your friend, he's your boyfriend, your husband. He'll push you. He'll say, yeah, I want to see you win. I want to see you succeed. Because he cares about you. But you'll never hear that from an insecure man. You'll never hear anything, oh, baby, you look good, or my darling, you look so lovely. Because why? It's going to take away from him. Because he's the star of whatever bullshit fantasy he's living in. So I'm telling women who are watching this, don't trade up your strength for anything. You have to make sure that your strength is coupled with femininity, but you always get to keep your strong core.